Thank you for tuning in to the Kevin Carhees Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. What's happening, guys? What's happening? Thank y'all for tuning in. Welcome back to the channel. Please get the likes up. Get the likes up. Be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. Salute to the free crowd. Salute, guys. Let's go and jump into this thing right quick. Why are modern day women so sad and depressed? Why are modern day women so sad and depressed? Now, let me tell you something. The number one reason why modern day women are sad and depressed is because of social media. Social media allows women to give a false perception and projection of themselves. It allows them to cover up their flaws, most of their insecurities. And guys, the one thing in life that you must learn to do is embrace and master your insecurities. You have to embrace your physical flaws, at least the ones that you can't change, and the ones that you can change, you have to embrace them while you're proceeding to change them. You can't sit around and sob in your insecurities about yourself while you're trying to change them. That's just like going to the gym. You got a broken foot. Instead of going and working on your upper body while you're rehabbing your foot, you just don't go to the gym at all. You basically say, nah, I ain't gonna work on nothing until I get this fixed. And see, social media will allow women not to embrace their insecurities because you can live in a pretentious world. You can stay being fake. You don't want to work on changing the things that you can change. You don't want, because it's hard to change. It's very hard to change. It's very hard to break habits. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of discipline. And a lot of women they just don't want to go through the process. They just don't want to go. So they just stay in a false sense of reality. The next thing social media does is it gives women an unlimited amount of attention. And the attention can be very, very addictive. It'll make someone think they have many different options, while in reality, they really don't. They really don't. Because at the end of the day, when that woman shut her phone down after all that attention online, she's still there by herself. When she hit the button and the light go off on the phone, she's back to reality. Back to her being alone. Or she's back getting off into her thoughts about the man that she really want to be with. And although she's getting attention from all these guys, she know guys, make no mistake, women are not stupid. They know that 95% of these guys only want them because of sex. That's all they want them for. They just want them for sex. Another thing is just like a lot of men give women attention, these same guys, ladies, make no mistake, these same guys simply play the number game. They have a lot of women to approach. They have a lot of women to shoot their shot at. So if a man shoots his shot at 50 women and hopes to get 3. So imagine if he shoot his shot at, we'll just say it like this. He'll shoot his shot at 50 women and hope to get 1. Imagine if he shot his shot at 150 and it's thousands of women online. So that would give him a roster of 3. A roster of 3. So out of 150 women, he got 3 women. Now these women might not be no 7s and 8s or definitely no 9s and 10s. They might be 3s and 4s. But that's enough. But even with those 3s and 4s, that's enough to tide him over until he run across the one woman that he really want to commit to or be with. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be the woman. You're just going to be one of the 3 on the roster. But every woman, if you let them tell it, they think they the one. He won't. And sure, it is guys that will commit to you and make you their number one. But most of those guys, and you know it, and I do too, most of those guys, you're quite frankly not interested in. You're not interested. Because if you was, you wouldn't be single. It's just common sense. Social media gives you a false sense of worth. It gives a woman a false sense of worth, and her value is based upon a pretentious world. So she's high value in a pretentious world, but low value in the real world. Now, I'm not going to say you don't have no value at all, but the same amount of attention that you get online, you know, and I know that you're not going to get the same amount of attention in the real world towards men that really want to commit to you. You're not going to get that attention. And we all know that beauty is a woman's currency. Beauty is a woman's currency. And online, you can make yourself look like you're super gorgeous. Super, super gorgeous. But it just doesn't transfer the beauty nor the attention transfer over into the real world. It just doesn't. Now, I'm not saying that you're not a beautiful woman, because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. All women have, just like men, we all have a group of people that's going to love us no matter what. And they're going to be so attracted no matter what. But online it allows you to get attention from people that normally wouldn't be attracted to you in the real world. It just wouldn't happen. So, if you get an attraction from nine guys that are 9s and 10s in the real world, ladies, most likely if you get an attraction from men that are 9 and 10 online in the pretentious world, 9 times out of 10 in the real world, you're going to get an attraction from the 4s and 5s, 3s and 4s. That's basically what it's going to boil down to. But it gives you a false perception of your physical market. It just does. It just does. These dating sites also, it's an ego booster. Because most women, guys, are on these dating sites because they want attention. Women go through that cycle where they have those down points in the month and they need an ego boost. They need to feel like they're worth something. Guys, that's just the psyche of women. And I tell you this, as soon as a woman create a profile, she could be a 3 or 4 physical looks. She's still going to get hundreds, if not thousands, of messages coming through, because men are visual creatures. She's still going to get thousands and thousands of messages. And maybe 1 or 2 of these guys are going to messenger her with the intent of a commitment. And 95% of the time, that's going to be a guy that she's just not interested in. And that's nothing worse than a woman creating a profile, guys. This says loser woman all over the profile. When you see this on the profile, you can say she's a loser. She is a loser. It's them women that put a list of demands on their profile. I don't care how you think she looks. If she put a list of demands on her profile, oh, you gotta be this, you gotta be that, you can't do this, you must have that. Guys, I'm gonna tell you this much right now. All that is telling everybody that she's trying to oversell herself. Oh, don't inbox me this. Oh, don't inbox me if you that. That's just she's trying to oversell herself. She's trying to make herself out to be this super fine woman that all the men are trying to reach for. A lot of time, guys, and I'm not going to say this is particularly goes on when a woman is on a dating site, because most of the people that she's gunning for are men. But a lot of this is on social media, on the Instagram, Facebooks, and things like that. They make videos. Oh man, you gotta have this. I'm about the money. If you can't do this for me, you can't do that. That's just trying to oversell yourself. And she's trying to oversell herself to women and to try to up her status in competition with other women to say, oh, look at me. All the men want me. All the men need. Man, look, yeah. And guys, we all know. We all know, man, these just regular looking women. They just regular looking. There ain't nothing to them that makes you want to reach up and grab them and say, oh man, she just the world great. Guys, it's always going to be the exception to the rule. It's always going to be some guy that thinks she's gorgeous. But by society standards, in general, she's just an average woman with all these demands, trying to tell women, and all that's saying to us is you have low self-esteem, so you got to oversell yourself to try to make yourself feel better and try to hopefully get people to look at you the way you think they should look at you. That's all that's about, guys. That's just like when women put on too much makeup, wear all these accessories and all that stuff. Okay, I'm okay with women wearing accessories and things like that. Some women way overdo it. And all they tell the world is that you're trying to oversell yourself with all that makeup on, with all that stuff on. You're just trying to. Oh, it's like it's like a meal that you go to a restaurant. They got all this fancy stuff, man. But when you bite into the steak, it's just not good. It's just when you try to eat the crawfish egg touffee or you eat the red beans and rice, it's just not that good. You eat the potato salad, it just don't taste that good. But when they bought it to you, oh, it looks so good. But it just don't. It really don't cut the cake. It just don't get it. And most of these guys that you're getting all this attention from, it's just sleeping. They just only want to sleep with you, And like I say, some of them will fall for you, And even if you do date these kind of guys, ladies, even if you do date the guys that's, oh, you're so beautiful, I'm this and that, and then they go down the checklist, oh, baby, I do this. You say you don't want that? Well, I don't do that. You say you need this? Well, I got this. All them guys, all that says is, to me, is he's a loser. That's it. He's a loser. Low self-confidence, low self-esteem. Because that's no way you should be sitting up there trying to check a list off from a list of demands that comes from a woman. If anything, she need to be trying to fulfill the demands that you have for her. How you gonna be a leader if you checking off demands a woman to put out on the table for you? A woman should choose you because you meet the standards, period. I ain't finna go out and all I gotta have this. Nah, I ain't finna do all that. Another thing, guys, it's just notice women will join the dating site, then she'll unjoin the site. Join it again, then unjoin the site. And then what kills me is that they'll sit up there and say stuff like, oh man, I got on that thing, it's way too much. My friend told me about it. My friend said, your friend ain't signed shit up, because everybody know that dating sites is the number one way to meet people. That's the number one way people meet people. That's no more guy come up to you and approach you, what's your name, how you doing, what brings you here, none of that shit. It's far and few in between. Mostly everybody's online dating. That's just how it is. But you have some of these women, they'll join, they'll get all this attention, then maybe they'll chase after a guy that they think like them or that they are attracted to. It don't work out. They right back on the dating site. They start talking about, oh, it was too much for me, too many messages, it was way overwhelming. And sure, yes, I do get it. You're probably getting a lot of messages, but a lot of those messages are empty messages or things that you're not looking at, because you can have sex anytime you want to have it. So it's not that much. It's not that pressing for you to get guys that want to have sex. It's pressing for men because we can't attract women in that massive amount to have sex. So yes, they'll constantly say, oh, it was just too much, and before you know it, they get off, then they right back on. And once they get off, the problem is the attention goes away, because you ain't gonna get that attention in real life. You ladies, that you're not getting that amount of attention in real life. So okay, you're off the site, there's nobody approaching you, then what? Then Then you're right back on the site again. Except this time it's a different site. And before you know it, she's in her 40s, in her 50s, sad, depressed. Why? Because she feels stuck. She got all these options online, all these options, but really, she don't have no options. A lot of options with no options. And that's why women are depressed. That's why modern women are depressed, because they lean too much on social media. You put too much work in a pretentious world instead of working on things in the real world, like, for instance, being more humble, being more domestic, working on a better attitude, dealing with hardworking men. That's boring, because your best men are hardworking and boring, instead of dealing with an exciting bum that eventually financially ruins you, emotionally ruins you, and then you left going back to the dating site, back in the rotation of bums. And that will leave you sad and depressed. Salute to the free crowd, guys. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. And until next time, I'm out.